So this is the Y pipe that was built for the 425, and we have chopped this whole section off, and we made a cut right here to the Y and brought this pipe out a couple of inches, and then we chop the flanges off the top, and we take our flanges that come with the LS swap manifolds, and we line them up and we tack them and we weld everything up. And we actually only had to build this piece, and like I'm saying, just this one little sleeve right here to extend this, and the factory pipe can work with the LS swap, which is great. That means that this can work with the stock muffler and the stock back end of the exhaust, and we're free to focus on other things with the build. We're also going to try to get a radio going and stuff like that. We're going to 3D print a bezel to house the 7-inch ACES EFI screen. For the ACES EFI kit, we had to drill and mount 2 O2 bungs. I will actually drill and mount 2 O2 bungs. I'll put an O2 bung on both sides, even on my Holley EFI installations. Even though they're only driven by one O2 sensor, you always want to have it on the leaner bank. You know, if you have it on the richer running bank, then the bank that runs lean is going to go really lean, and that's a bad thing. So you'll always put your 102 in whichever bank is predispositioned to run leaner, so the motor will run better. So for this reason alone, even with a Holley EFI setup, it's good to have a bung in each O2, but you're always only running one O2 sensor. The Holley Terminator, for all the money you spend, it does not give you the resolution for bank trimming. You don't need any of that if you have like a Holley Sniper, you have a throttle body where all your fuel injectors are in one common place. But for us, in this application, we're using the factory truck style intake where we have one fuel injector right at each intake valve. This motor is ready and set for sequential fueling and bank fuel trimming. And so one of the great things about the ACES EFI that we're happy and excited about for getting to play with it is that ACES EFI offers 2 O2 sensors and bank fuel trimming. We're excited to play with that, and on this side of it we have the highest of hopes out of it. We'll see how it goes. For that, we've also mounted our O2 sensors just a couple of inches downstream from the collectors. And we have nice thick metal O-ring gaskets around the collectors to make sure we have a positive seal so that our O2 sensors aren't skewing lean or picking up any leaks or anything. And then that's about it. We painted it black with VHT header paint that's meant to withstand 2,000 degrees or something. It's supposed to be flame proof. The VHT header paint also has a little ceramic in it, so it should add something of a layer of insulation, I guess. But ultimately, it'll just make it disappear in the background of the engine bay. And maybe dual exhaust will be a good upgrade down the road. But for now, the exhaust is built. It's time to go back in the car, and we're free to get back on the wiring. I just wanted to take a minute and show off our fan control. The ACES EFI controller has 2 fan outputs. We are using 3 relays, 1, 2, 3, and 2 circuit protection devices. We have 2 40-amp short-stop circuit breakers to control our 2 electric fans with low and high speed operation. The way these 3 relays are wired is when fan 1 gets triggered, both fans get brought on at the same time in series. Power flows from one fan into the other fan and then to ground. And then when fan 2 gets triggered by the ACES controller, this jumps off 2 other relays that take the series operation and breaks it out so that each fan gets a full 12 volts. Wiring them in this way makes sure that there is no shock to the electrical system, and it just makes sure that our lights never dim or that we never have idle changes as the fans cycle on and off. And most times with a properly built system, the fans will live on the low speed anyway, and once it's wired in this way, you just never hear them come on at all. They just disappear. For this conversion, we're running A pair of fans off a 2001 Cadillac Deville. We decided to keep the fans with Deville. So in the 79 Deville had a mechanical fan, 2001 Cadillac Deville had electric fans that actually kind of fit the radiator. They just don't have mounting tabs. So we have them mounted to the core support. All right, so we still got AC stuff we got to do. We still got to build our AC hoses, and we also still have one last step we got to take for the air cleaner. That is, we just have to mount the air cleaner in our pocket right there. This LS1 now has a drive-by cable throttle body with the GM idle air control valve in an aftermarket 92mm throttle body housing. This is notorious for making noise until the IAC settles, so we'll hear that on startup. We're pretty happy with the way it's running. I 3D printed that, by the way. This Jackpot LS EFI, if you guys can see it, has two, it's not focusing, has dual bank fuel trimming, so it has two wide bands. It's got a separate wide band on each side, and it is controlling that air-fuel ratio nice. It is running the motor nice. And also, if you look right here, we can see there's a weak GPS signal, but this 7-inch touchscreen has a GPS speedometer built into it, which is really nice. The transmission has an output speed sensor on it, it's 4L80, and we can calibrate a speedometer for that, but that requires counting pulses and knowing tire measurements and all this and that. The GPS speedometer in here always reads accurate, and we can use it to compare our calibrations to what our factory sensor is doing in the transmission. We still have to fix this radio. It's a cool Mustang. It's not just a Mustang, it's a Cobra, 97 Cobra, but that's not what we're talking about. We're here looking at this Caddy. And that's about how the car sounds.